Eli Yastrib's log. We have received an update from the Mercenary Review Board saying that there's been a new patch to Battletech Advanced 3062. Now, I don't really know what the heck they're talking about, but in theory, what it's done is sort of tame down battle armor a little bit and provide a couple of new guns, weapons, mechs, and things like that. And I promptly asked them, okay, well, did it provide it to my mech bay? And the answer appears to be no. So, Mercenary Review Board always sort of being a little bit less than supremely helpful. I thought we'd take a look at where we are. We're in Clan Wolf space, fighting, of course, north and east, I guess, on the flat map of the Lyran Commonwealth territory, and we did also receive some intelligence that the Republican forces that we fought last time are from, well, something called the Sanctuary Alliance, the Sanctuary Worlds, down in the, well, comparative southeast part of the map. So I'm not sure how they got all the way up here to fight on the side of Clan Wolf, but yeah, no, that was not pleasant. So we're going to be at some point going down there, and what I'm currently thinking is we spend a little bit more time in clan space, we get a couple of more mechs, we drive our way through the Draconis Combine, getting revenge along the way for each and every mech and pilot they destroyed. And then we drive into the Federated Suns, and we confront the Winged Lancers themselves. And once we're done with that, then we make our way down and over to the Sanctuary Worlds, where we will take, well, revenge on basically the entire eastern side of the galaxy. I mean, it's making me feel a little bit like a villain, but frankly, we have one good sponsor, the Lyrans, and everyone else is just an opportunity for a payday, and that's sort of how we have to face it. The company has well and truly transformed from what it was in its early days into something new, and that just is what it is, as I always say. So with that in mind, let's take a look at doing a couple of mech upgrades, because I think Gridlock has earned an even nastier version of that burner mech that we've had with the General 2C3. So we're going to be taking a look then at a Mad Dog. This is a recent capture, and its base configuration really isn't all that terrible. We have triple medium pulsator on here, we have double Streak SRM6, double ER large, and an LRM-20. It's really an all-range sort of build. You have the LRMs and the ER larges at long range, you have the Streak SRM6s and the medium pulses at short, but I don't know, I'm not really sure it's my favorite. And I guess just to tell you why, the reason is the Streaks are not as weight efficient as standard clan SRM6s. Oh, come on, Yang. I'm talking here. So the Streak SRM6s aren't quite as weight efficient. The LRM-20 is nice, but one rack on its own isn't the sort of dedicated fire support that I tend to build things out to do, which is optimization almost to a fault. And the medium pulses are also not very weight efficient. So they're, of course, 2 tons, 1 slot, 35 damage is not bad, 17 heat's not bad, and ignoring evasion is great, but we don't need this mech to do that, right? And if we get rid of our Gener 2C3, we're going to be losing our Disabler. Plus, of course, we need more armor than we currently have. So how are we going to do this? We're going to take off the Streak SRM6s, and I haven't exactly decided what I wanted yet, but I have just a general idea. We're going to just take out all the weaponry for right now. Keep in mind, too, the Mad Dog is an Omni-Mech, which means we cannot change its core or its engine. So we are locked into 6-8 movement, which is a lot slower than the Gener 2C3. And that's something we're going to have to keep in mind when we're making this build into something that could be effective. So let's just throw our 4 heavy AoE flamers in on here, and they don't necessarily have to stay in these positions. Ooh, only one weapon allowed there. Okay, fine. Let's go here and here. We have a lot of tonnage. We have 19.125 tons, and we're just going to go look for anything and everything that we have that gives off heat, including these plasma cannons. So we had them earlier, and I didn't particularly love them, but they deal 40 heat damage on target, taking, of course, plasma ammunition to do so. Our heavy AoE flamers can deal up to 20 in an area of effect. So right now we have 80 heat damage output that's on this mech, and we can bring that up to 120, up to 160, and up to 200. So an Alpha Strike right now would deal, if everything hits, up to 200 heat on a single mech, which seems pretty nice. And then we have the DXR-S. This is a small laser that we captured from the Sanctuary Worlds mechs that we fought during the last mission, and those were those Republican forces. and I'm not entirely sure that I love it. 6 tons is a little heavy, 30 heat is nice, but it's nowhere near as heat efficient as the plasma cannons. Of course, 3 tons for 40 heat, so I'm not really sure I want this that much. I think we also need to go ahead and put in our plasma ammunition, and for right now, let's do that right here and right here. Our own heat efficiency is going to suffer a little bit as well, so we need to keep that in mind. If we threw 6 tons on right now, we would get, let's see, that's 3 shots per, 20 shots, it's a little under 7 volleys, it's a little ammunition light. And if we did that, we'd be up to an additional 20 heat. So, I mean, we've up to 112 heat in the Alpha Strike, 72 heat sinking. That's pretty close to red line off 1 Alpha Strike, if not over it, depending on the biome. But we might not be firing the heavy AoEs. The problem is these are just 8 apiece. That's 32. That's a 32 difference. We could manage it, because these are very short range. We're not always guaranteed to be at short range. So let's just see what this looks like. I think we only have 2 weapon slots there. So let's go with the DXR small here. And then if we go and we put in another plasma ammunition, and we come in here and we put in a clan heat sink, I think in our core section, we're very heat inefficient. We're a little bit hot right now. But on the other hand, our own heat output is pretty crazy if we get everything online. Do I have anything else that does heat damage is the question, and I think unfortunately the answer is going to be, well, actually no, we could do this with SRMs. Standard SRMs though, not the streaks, because our Inferno ammunition is going to be, well, we could also narc. So Haywire Narc gives 20% impaired heat sinks for 2 turns. That seems like a good thing for us. So you know what? I'm not happy with that DXR. Let's tear that off. We're going to put in Haywire. Let's get that ammunition over here. And where's my Haywire launcher? That's going to be weapons, well, Narc launcher. Clan version. 1 accuracy, 2 pips. 1 accuracy, 1 pip. 2 tons. 2 tons. It's a little heavy. It's a little heavy. Okay, so let's put that in the arm, because I want to have an ammunition, well, an accuracy bonus with that. And then we don't really have that much tonnage remaining. So we could put in a standard SRM6. I don't have any more clan SRM6s, unfortunately. Let's take a look here. That's 3 tons all right away. It's a little heavy. It's a little heavy. Okay, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put an ER medium. Actually, you know what? It's a heavy large, 4 tons, 80 damage. That's tempting, to be honest. Heat's 54. We basically alternate if we want to fire this or everything else. Or we could do the heavy medium laser. Actually, you know what? Oh ho ho. Okay. Alright, here's what we're... What? Only 1 weapon there? Dagnabbit. Okay, I think what we're going to do, we're going to take off the Narc launcher as well. We're going to make this guy into a close range brawler. Double heavy medium. Our heat efficiency is in the pits, but the goal is to fire either the heavies or the flame setup. But I think... Actually, no. No. Oh, this is the challenge with making these. It's always something else that you want to do, and it's never as easy to get going as you expect. Let's put our heavy large laser in that torso. It's going to have horrible accuracy, but when it shoots, it'll be pretty nice. And then I think let's go with double clan heatsink, 1 in each leg, and that will balance us out. So this looks pretty awful, but remember that heavy large laser is something like 50 some heat. So when we fire the triple plasma cannon, the quad heavy AoE flamer, we're actually going to be relatively close to cool, or to even on heat. And then we'll kick it up over the red line if we're firing the heavy large and everything else. So I think this is good. I think it's worth a try, and it could be pretty vicious on the battlefield. So I do know that... Oh, come on. I do know that we don't always love hanging out just in the mech bay, but I think that's going to be it, especially because our last drop was such a long one. But don't worry, we'll be back, and we're going to be taking on some heavier clan mechs next engagement.